This video is all about sleep, specifically about what it means to get good sleep and some things that you can do to be able to improve your sleep. So there's only two main areas to sleep, but they're both very important. The first is the total amount of sleep that you get, and the second would be the quality of the sleep that you get. So total and quality. You have to think about both of them at the same time. The most important thing for you to remember about this entire thing is that if you are really going to take the time to pay attention to your sleep, you have to buy some kind of a sleep tracker to be able to tell what you're actually getting. I like the Fitbit, which I use a lot, and I've also recently ordered an Oura Ring, which I'll be using a lot of, but I have clients who use that and absolutely love it. So it doesn't really matter what device you get, as long as the device that you get can help you track not only the amount of time that you're getting asleep, but also the actual quality of it, so that when you make one of these modifications to your total sleep schedule, you can actually monitor whether it's giving you some of the changes that you're looking for. If it's giving you your changes, great, you can keep working on it. If it hasn't given you the changes that you're looking for, then you need to look for something else to be able to do. So first step for you, if you're going to monitor both your total sleep and your quality of sleep, is to get some kind of a sleep tracker, which you can order pretty much anywhere because they're becoming pretty popular now. So first we'll talk about total sleep because it's the lesser of the two. So you want to make sure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep per night. First of all, before you even think about how much time you actually spend asleep, make sure that you're getting at least 8 hours to be able to have in bed amount of time that you're restful. If for some reason you have kids or work is getting in the way or you get to bed late one night or whatever, just make up for some of that sleep by getting a nap the next day somewhere in the middle of the day. You'll actually find a point where your body starts to power down, and if you take that opportunity to get a nap in, if you can work that in somehow, it'll hugely benefit you and it'll make it so you're not just accumulating sleep debt over time. If you find that you're not working out or you're not extremely physically active and you continuously need more than 9 hours all the time, then it's probably pointing you to an actual sleep quality issue. There's some studies that say that people that fit that demographic that require over 9 hours of sleep all the time actually don't live as long, and in my opinion, that's because their sleep quality is actually really, really bad. So I think 8 hours. If you have to hit the bottom rung, the very bottom rung would be in bed 7 hours, but really try to get 7.5 to 8. So now into the bigger one, which is quality of sleep. So you can spend a lot of time in bed, but spend a lot of time actually not recovering. And so the goal, besides getting more sleep, which is good on its own, is for you to actually make sure that the sleep that you are getting is really helping your body and your brain and everything recover. So there's a couple things that you can do that I put in order. There's basically 6 areas that you can look at. The first one would be to make sure that you get a consistent sleep and awake time. Your body sets different schedules for itself, and it releases different chemicals to allow you to actually get to sleep. So around the time that you normally go to bed, your body recognizes, okay, this is the time that we go to bed. I've sensed that I'm on this certain internal cycle that I've set up for myself, so it's going to start to change some of your your chemicals around a little bit in your body. One of those is it starts to release melatonin to help your brain to power down and go to sleep. You'll find that there's a certain time that you get sleepy, and if you can get sleepy, that means that you can make the time that you spend in bed a lot more efficient, because the time that you spend in bed will actually be spent being asleep as opposed to rolling around. Same way as you wake up, your body starts to release different chemicals to allow you to slowly wake up, and then you end up being more awake when you wake up, and your body's actually set itself to a restful cycle. So number one, try to get a consistent sleep-wake schedule if at all possible. Some people it's not possible, but try. Second one would be to make sure that you have a nighttime routine. So you should decide whether it be a half hour or an hour that you set for your pre-bed routine. First of all, the whole reason why you're doing this is because if you set a pre-bed routine, it'll help your body be able to establish, okay, these are the habits that tell me that it's time for me to go to sleep, and make your sleep more restful. The first thing for anybody in modern culture right now to look at is the amount of time they spend on their phone or in front of a TV before they go to bed. Your body receives a light input as a signal that it's daytime. So all these lights and stuff that we have, the light I'm using for this video right now, our phones, our TVs, all of those things are light input that tell your body that it's still daytime. And so it will continue to secrete the chemicals that keep you awake because it thinks it's daytime and it wants you to be awake. If you get a bunch of that exposure right before you go to bed, your brain will not allow you to power down, and now you've got to spend a half hour to an hour rolling around in bed trying to get yourself to calm down, because now your brain is active and it's ready to go. The other part is that your phone actually emits, phones and computer screens emit a type of light that's called blue light, which we think, I don't think it's a solid science yet, but we think is part of the reason why your eyes receive so much eye strain, and it actually stimulates your brain more to be awake, we think. Either way, it still stands that you should try to make sure that you get rid of the light before you go to bed. Second strategy is to take a hot shower or hop in a hot tub, about a half hour, same thing, before you actually go to bed. You can make your core temperature rise so that when you get out, your body feels cooler as a whole when you're actually laying in bed, and make you more relaxed. Talking about temperature, you can check the room temperature, make sure that it's low enough for you to be able to sleep. A lot of people estimate that sub 70 degrees is one of the best ways that you can sleep, so you can actually use your blankets and help lull you into sleep. And the last part in your nighttime routine or your nighttime sleep schedule is to make sure that your room is completely dark while you sleep. Don't turn the TV on, don't have any lights on, don't have a night light on, get blackout curtains if you need to, but make sure it's completely pitch black like you're sleeping in a cave. Think about primal instincts and all that other stuff to allow your body to completely recover. First, we talked about consistent sleep awake. Second was nighttime routine. Third will be your bed comfort. How comfortable are you actually in bed? Are you too hot or too cold when you're asleep? Is your mattress too firm or too soft? Those are both things that you can solve relatively easily to make sure that you're actually comfortable. And the last one would be that if you're kind of person who likes to have a little bit of pressure on you, they actually have weighted blankets. So a way for you to experiment with this is take like a heavy cushion or a pillow. I know it sounds weird. And either put it over your forehead or put it on your body and see if you sleep better that night. And it would be an option for you to be able to buy a weighted blanket. Sometimes that pressure can help calm down some of your body's receptors so that you can actually sleep a little bit better. It tends to work really well, I've seen, for people who are kind of hyperactive or people who have a tendency to have a lot going on all the time. It seems to work well. The fourth one will be your mental state. When you get in bed, are you laying down and are you thinking about all the things that you need to do? And specifically, are you concerned and worried about all the things that are going on in life? And sometimes it can help to just lay there, close your eyes, and just repeat to yourself, everything is okay. I'm okay. I'm safe. My life is good. Everything will be all right. And just repeat that to yourself in your mind and actually allow yourself to believe it so you can calm down and realize that you're safe, therefore you can relax, therefore your body can go to sleep. Fourth one would be physical tension. So if you're holding physical tension in your body, that can translate into stress in your brain, thus mental stress. So by getting rid of some of that stress, some of the physical stress, you can actually help your brain to be able to relax and lull itself to sleep. One way is to work on a breathing technique where you try to diaphragm breathe. We have videos on that, but try to diaphragm breathe, and you'll inhale over 3 to 5 seconds, hold your breath for 3 to 5 seconds, and then exhale for 3 to 5 seconds nice and slowly. You might find that that starts to make you yawn and go to sleep. Another way to do that is by some gentle stretching. So the actual act of reaching up and stretching like this is actually a physiological response where your body will relax as many muscles in your body as you possibly can, and a lot of people feel slightly sleepy at that. I also find a lot of people carry a lot of tension through their shoulders and upper back, so a lot of times by doing some rotational stretches or opening up your chest and shoulders, people feel more sleepy and more relaxed, and it can help lull you into sleep. And specifically laying in bed, that's a really great time to do that. The sixth one that you could work on, which I don't like to go into unless people have exhausted all of the other arenas, would be supplementation. And so the sixth one, which you can use, which works very well, but I don't like to use this part unless you've gone through all the other options already, and that's supplementation. Supplementation I like as sort of a further down the road resort because I don't like to put band-aids on top of main issues. If you supplement with these issues, or with these supplements, but you still have the previous issues, you're still going to have sleep problems, and eventually you're going to have to deal with those. But in the short term, if you've got a lot going on, if you've got young kids and you want to use these as a short-term band-aid, they can work very well. One would be taking melatonin, which is the recording of this video is the only supplement for sleep aid that doesn't have any long-term side effects or addictive qualities. Second one would be using taurine, L-taurine, as a powder. That's an amino acid powder that you can take. And then the third one would be using a valerian root tea, all of which can help you sleep. So remember that there is total sleep and quality of sleep. And under quality of sleep, things that you need to examine are consistent sleep and wake routine, consistent sleep and wake time rather, a nighttime routine, bed comfort, mental state, physical tension, and supplementation.